The Universe and You, 21 Things You Wanted to Know About Your True, Authentic Life Purpose, but Were Too Afraid to Ask. Yeah, hey everybody, this is Ian from Mindful Marketplace, and I wanted to do a brief introduction and an offer for those of you who are interested in getting a free mini version of this workshop, but actually personalized and customized to your own life purpose, your own life challenges, and your own areas of struggle, challenge, and overwhelm. So here is the basic gist of today's recording. We have a new workshop coming on June 1st with respect to really learning what the universe wants to do through you. And this is irrespective of whether you believe in a benevolent universe, whether you think that you actually have a genuine purpose, whether you have any spiritual beliefs or any religious beliefs. This is a really simple, pragmatic, and practical process for uncovering your best life in every moment. We're going to look at the truth about dharma, karma, and kriya. These are terms that are often sort of confused and mistaken, especially with respect to karma. And we're going to cover a really simple process where you can uncover exactly what it is that is holding you back from living a life that you love. So I'm just going to cover some of the basic concepts here and then invite you, if you're interested, to send your questions, your personal questions about your own particular set of circumstances to our email address, where I and Angie will answer these questions for you specifically, and you can decide whether or not thereafter you'd be interested in joining our workshop. So essentially, just a little bit of back context. The Discover Your Personal Role in the Evolution of the Universe cohort. The next one starts on the 1st of June. And essentially, we look at whether you feel or how to process feelings of living a smaller story or living a life of less, and how to sort of overcome and transcend that through these very practical, timeless wisdom tradition techniques. So this is ideal for empaths and healers and introverts and spiritual seekers and enlightened or inspirational entrepreneurs, and even for those of you who think all of this sounds completely crazy. You're going to learn a really timeless technique, a transformative technique that will wake you up to your true potential, and not in some esoteric or odd kind of, way that just sounds good, but this really is a practical series of mindfulness-based recognitions about yourself, your gifts, and ultimately what makes you come alive. You'll learn how to actually use those ideas or process those ideas through the notion of making the world a better place by dint of having you within it. You're going to learn the number one way that the vast majority of spiritual seekers and teachers and YouTube videos and TikTok videos and books and all this sort of stuff completely misunderstand the real law of karma, and a really simple new rule that will completely transform your life, especially if you're feeling stuck or if you're feeling that you're spinning your wheels for days, weeks, months, or even years of your life, which I know many people in our community who come into this process have told us that they feel like they've wasted sometimes decades of life really kind of following a path that wasn't near and dear to their own true sense of passion and purpose and power and peace, the inner peace that comes with living a life that is really aligned with your authentic, intentions and purpose and all that sort of thing, is really quite beautiful, blissful, and transformative. You'll also learn a mindfulness practice that is really at the bedrock of all this, that will help you cultivate calm, confidence, courage, and really an ever-present connection to your best self in every moment. It's really something that has changed my own life in so far as whenever I feel a sense of getting lost or getting overwhelmed or anxious or losing an anchor with this sense of purpose and alignment with my best self, I can bring back this series of simple exercises and reawaken yet again to this sense of more and this sense of real connection to something beyond myself. So if you are really, truly ready and really feel like you'd like to wake up and show up and level up your life, I invite you to join us for this workshop. Again, it's June 1st is the next one. Today, I'm recording this on the 24th of May, 2022. So you have about a week. There are about 30 spots left, and we'd love to have you. All right. So for those of you who are not quite sure if this is a good, match for you, but essentially this is just a free opportunity to get some much needed guidance if you're struggling in your own life right now. So here I'm going to ask you to do a very simple thing. You're going to answer 3 simple questions. You can do this with as much specificity as you like, and you'll get a free little mini consultation if you're one of the first 50 people. Anyway, I can't do this for everybody, but for the next 50 people or so, either myself or Angie will record for you a simple step-by-step sort of strategy for reconnecting with your authentic self in the service of aligning with your gifts, your natural inclinations, your sense of passion and purpose about living a life of aliveness and service, because that's an important part of all of this. All right, you'll get a personalized, we call this a karmic reading, but it's not a psychic reading. It's a clearing, so to speak, of karmic baggage and boundaries and the boxes and borders that we often construct around ourselves to keep ourselves living a smaller story. We're going to learn how to actually break through those borders and boundaries and boxes, and we're going to do this together, again, in this workshop, but also if you're interested in getting a free mini session, part of this as well. All right, so number 1, the question that you want to answer is, what comes really easy to you that is challenging, difficult, or even impossible for others? So when you find yourself in a state of frictionless flow or effortless action, what feels natural for you out in the world from a standpoint of cultivating confidence and courage, and again, is preferably done in the spirit of service? So think about the ways in which you show up in the world that feel easy to you, that feel effortless, that feel fun, that facilitate a sense of flow, right? This is called Kriya, and it's simply the natural state of every human sort of expressing their natural gifts, their innate talents, their experiences that have led to a state of being proficient in something. This is a state where things are just, they feel good, and you're showing up as your own sort of best self in a given set of circumstances, in a given moment, or in a given day, week, month, year, lifetime. Where do you find effortless action, frictionless flow? And again, this is Kriya. Number 2, what decisions have you made in life that, if you're really being honest right now, have adversely affected your everyday experience of feeling empowered, alive, and really phenomenally free? Like what decisions, even small decisions that you may have made that over time, they can feel insignificant, right? But over time they have compounding consequences until one day you just simply recognize that the life that you're living is one of less, and it's a smaller story than you know you're capable of, and often feels very mundane and depressing, and maybe even has far less magic than you may have expected your life would have long ago, right? And this essentially is our working definition of karma, right? The small decisions that build borders and boxes and boundaries around our lives that accumulate over time, right? Again, small decision here, a small decision there, that over time, in aggregate, they create these really, really rigid lives for ourselves, lives of less that, kind of shrink our story and sap our spirit. All right. So we are going to, in our workshop, go through a very systematic system strategy for working through this and recognizing when you're living from a place of karma rather than kriya, rather than effortless action. You're living from a place of rigidity and building boxes and borders and boundaries around what it is that you're doing on a day-to-day basis and how you show up in the world on a day-to-day basis. All right. And the last piece of this, very simple or very simply, is what we refer to as dharma. And this is your personal role in the evolution of the universe. And the only thing you need to believe to make any of this work is that the universe prefers, or even works best, it's most useful when it's in a state of more harmony, more happiness, and more benevolence for all, right? You don't need to believe in anything else. You can be of any religion, you can be an atheist, it doesn't matter. You just are willing to take on board the idea that when things are running smoothly and more people are living with more passion and compassion and health and happiness and ease, that the world is a better place for everybody, right? So your life lived in service of helping to create this happy, harmonious universe, one in which things are better for more people rather than worse, and where there's more flourishing, more generosity, more acceptance, and more love. When you are doing your part in making this happen, this is called your dharma. And that's the only real spiritual belief you need to wake up. You can be Christian, Jewish, Muslim, atheist, it doesn't matter. You can be curious, but not yet convinced about anything at all, and this process will work for you. So think about your natural gifts, your natural talents, and your innate sense of what your personal best life looks like right now. All right, and share in just a few sentences, or you can write as much as you like, about what that would look like for you. And then share your answers. If you're part of our workshop, we'll be doing this as a group, and you'll be sharing these together in the community. But if you're simply just looking for a little bit of personal help, send your answers to each of the above to mindfulmarketplace@gmail.com and just put purpose, my purpose, in the subject line. The first 50 people will record something like this for you specifically. No catches, no shoes to drop. We're hoping that many of you will join our workshop, but you don't have to. If you're part of this initial group, this is just our way of embodying the actual thing that we're teaching, which is our dharma, which is to empower and inspire millions of people with the incredible gift of cultivating presence, purpose, passion, and peace through our own lives every day and through the magic of mindfulness. Alone, we can change a neighborhood. Together, we can change the world. I really hope you'll join us. Thank you so much for listening. And you have a PDF download that you can, or a worksheet that you can download if some of this you'd like to review before you send our email address your answers. I will have that available to you at the link below. Thank you so much, and I hope to see everybody in June. And for those of you who are just sending your answers, you'll get something in the next 72 hours with some personal guidance. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day.